So this was a first time doing this analysis, but it's based on like a theory that I've had, which is around, cost per click is an indicator of value.
Oh yeah, you and I have been talking about this forever. Like your most expensive conversions are usually your most valuable ones. So when B2C advertisers show up in B2B, and then they decrease, these are all your most expensive cost per conversions, and then they essentially decrease your CPA, and they like clap for themselves, and the company makes way less money because some of your most expensive conversions are also your most valuable ones, right?
Exactly.
That's the theory you and I've had for years.
Yeah, so usually you can't find it in a platform because they're only tracking form fills. So normally you see the cost reduce as it goes through a pipeline.
But now that we have offline conversion tracking, Salesforce bidirectional syncs, things like that.
Yeah, you can do it in the account. But this is, before they purchased and started working with us.
Okay.
And so this was their old setup. This was working off of form fills. And so as I was going through their search terms, I was just seeing a handful of different intent, very top of funnel, some very bottom of the funnel, like people looking for solutions.
Yep.
And so I had this thought to kind of prove that theory with very clear data. And I ran an average cost per click filter. So I went into their search terms for this campaign and I looked at data for when cost per click was less than $20. And I'll get into that screenshot at the top after. And so when I filtered that, the cost per conversion was 4,370 and the conversion rate was 0.27. And then I looked at what happens when the average cost per click within the set of search terms is above $20. The conversion rate tripled to the point where their cost per conversion, even with a higher average cost per click, was, I have it like in the text, $1,570 less.
That's about 50% less too, just basic math.
Yes. So the reason why this stood out was, and why I looked at this in the first place, is they were running this campaign on maximize clicks. So you're telling Google, I want as many clicks as possible.
Google's like, yes.
Given my budget and given my targeting.
Oh, yeah.
And so to make that happen,
Google wants to eat.
Google is going to find the lowest cost per click to maximize the clicks. This is essentially what the algorithm is looking to do.
Bro, did you overlay this with demographics so you could see like household income on CPCs under 20?
No, this was strong enough.
But you know what I'm saying. I guarantee you that you're going to see age and income drastically skewed across under or over with whatever that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do a cost per click analysis.
And did you see if was the breaking point $20 or like how did you get to, you know what I mean, versus 15 or 25 or like how did you determine 20?
First I was just looking at what is converting at a high rate, seeing what that cost per click is, and then I was just playing around with what happens when I do 15.
The line in the sand.
What happens when I do this, and I wanted the cost to be pretty even.
Yep.
So you can see 118,000 when it's less than and 96,000 because I could have done an extreme. I could have done more than $50 and maybe conversion rate was 2% and it was lower. But if it said you've only spent $5,000 on those searches, it would be less of an impact. And then the other thing is they were losing impression share due to budget and rank. So there's a ton of room in the campaign to show up more for what's working great and to be more aggressive on cost per click because they're losing due to rank. So that those two metrics is why it actually meant something and they could change it immediately. But I thought it was interesting. It was just such clear data that high cost per click is not always a bad thing. Yet what their algorithm was doing was trying to really lower cost per click and get as many clicks as possible.